All camera manufacturers. Chef's email address is Marcus D'Almeida through. Time for quarterfinal number 4 here in Berlin. The Elite 8 are being wheedled down to 4 as we see Turkey taking on another new face, a Chilean.
On target number 1, representing Turkey.
Aufstellung Nummer 1 für die Türkei,
Mete Gazoz. On target number 2, representing Chile.
Aufstellung Nummer 2 für Chile,
Ricardo Soto. The line judge for this matchup is
die Kampfrichterin für dieses Match ist
Katerina Konchalova.
So here we go. The last place in the semi-finals up for grabs. The Olympic picture becoming a little clearer here. We have Ricardo Soto from Chile up against Mete Gazoz from Turkey. Mete Gazoz is the world number 12 and the reigning Olympic champion. His team, Turkey, have already qualified through the team route. Ricardo Soto from Chile, world number 59 at 23 years old, is in the hunt for an Olympic place. Now, if Soto were to win here, we'll have to find out who's on the podium to work out who's going to Paris 2024. If Gazoz here wins, the 3 other winning quarterfinalists are through to Paris 2024. Clear as mud.
6.
Yeah, and I was going to say, both of these guys really know how to shoot matches. Mete has obviously proven himself on the numerous occasions. Ricardo Soto has proven himself mostly on the continental circuit, but he has already shown before that he knows what it's like to win matches. So this is going to be interesting.
9.
9.
Perfect score.
Mete is showing us why he is the Olympic champion.
So 24 start for Ricardo Soto, a difficult start of him. Gazoz, some sports people are big tournament players. They love playing in the big ones. Is Mete Gazoz one of those? Because since he won the Olympics, he had a little bit of a dip in his normal form.
Yeah, and I wonder if there's ever been anyone who hasn't had that. I mean, if we look back at previous champions, typically not only the pressure of coming into the next event as the reigning Olympic champion, a freshly crowned Olympic champion, but I think also you're going to have a lot of media stuff to do afterwards. You're going to have to do, you have to get used to the fact that you're the Olympic champion, but you're probably also going to take some time off. I would, at least, if I would have ever become an Olympic champion.
Oh, the other part of it as well, just to add to that, is if you become the Olympic champion, excuse the pun, but you put a massive target on your back, don't you?
Yeah, I think people also want to win from the Olympic champion. So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that he had a couple of, more difficult years behind him, but I think he's all the more motivated to do well in Paris in a year.
Start of the second set, Ricardo Soto much better starting in the gold. These two haven't met before. at an international major, I should say.
9.
Yeah, just not really showing the the match-winning Ricardo Soto I was talking about earlier.
Well, that leaves the door open. 10 here would be handy. Quite.
This match is in very stark contrast with what we just saw from Marcus D'Almeida.
Oh, that is what it means to be the Olympic champion under pressure. It was a painfully long hold.
It was indeed, and I think also a painful arrow for Ricardo Soto, because he knew that he could put some pressure on by shooting some good arrows, and he couldn't quite manage to do that. And then Mete, just for the second time in a row, takes the opportunity and takes the second set.
And he was riding out that long hold at full draw, wasn't he? Was he waiting for wind to calm down?
Yeah, or he just he was waiting for the clicker to go off. Sometimes you'll have a bit of a longer shot. Maybe when going into anchor, you're a bit further from the clicker than what you're normally doing, or sometimes it just happens. But the fact that Mete has, well, his lines are just really good. So his elbow is really in line with the arrow, which means that it doesn't cost a lot of physical energy to hold your bow at full draw. And I think that aids him in having a longer draw sometimes.
Trying to keep himself warm on the shooting line. Mete Gazoz, he has a 4-0 lead in the last of the men's recurve quarterfinals. Ricardo Soto from Chile will shoot first, needs to get himself on the scoreboard here.
Right in that group where he was just shooting as well, but he did move his sight now. I just wonder if that was in time. And again, just low and right. It's not bad grouping and it's not bad shooting that he's doing, but he just needs to move his sight a bit more. And this is a good moment for Ricardo to get centered.
Another opportunity for the Chilean. Well, a 27 again when he could have put it out of reach. He certainly forced a 10 from Gazoz. Gazoz now needs the 10 for a 9-arrow win. What on earth is going on with Mete Gazoz? An 8 and a 4 in that set when he had the chance to go through to the semi-finals. Ricardo Soto in the end did enough with the 27. Gazoz, the Olympic champion, sort of trying to laugh it off with the coach. But what happened, Chef?
Well, he was under pressure for the time. This was a longer hold than, well, the other long holds that we've seen from him. He was pulling up until the point where he didn't have any time to pull it through the clicker. I think he may have forced it through the clicker at the very end, but I haven't seen exactly that. But then you can see here, he just opened his fingers himself rather than letting the fingers slide off the string. in a fluid motion as he normally does. Mete actually has, in my opinion, typically one of the more beautiful releases in recurve archery, but this was frankly quite horrible.
Well, I can tell you one thing, you're going to be surprised by this, I'm sure. The clicker did go off. I was watching.
Well, in that case, I think he released it like that because he probably forced it through the clicker and then opened his fingers.
Well, there you go. So, a tricky set from Gazoz. Far from the convincing performance in the last quarterfinal. Soto on the scoreboard.
No.
Okay, so he has moved from that bottom right position in the gold. But looking at Mete's group, he has a couple of stray arrows. Obviously that 4 has a standout stray arrow, but most of his arrows are hitting 10s, whereas Ricardo is yet to shoot a single 10.
Number 7 for Gazoz, that 10. Well, this should be a formality. It wasn't the most convincing of wins from the Olympic champion, but it was enough. The question now has to be, has Gazoz been challenged enough in the quarterfinals to be able to step up when he gets to the semi-finals?
That is indeed the question, and even though this might have not looked as convincing as the previous match, looking at Mete's match, he's only shot 2 9s. He just shot a couple of really bad arrows, so he shot a couple of 8s in the 4. He shot a bunch of 10s as well.
We do have some updates in terms of the Olympic quotas, as we now can give 1 quota to Indonesia, to Canada, and to Brazil.
I think you heard it probably from the stadium announcer there with the semi-final lineup, including Arif Pangestu of Indonesia, Eric Peters of Canada. That's the top half of the draw.